Hi there, I am Sarah Kolis. Welcome to the Dressing Up podcast, where we talk about all things bridal, dresses, and general dressing up topics. I love to encourage women to dress up while expressing their personal style with confidence on how to do so. Visit sarahkolis.com to book a bridal alterations fitting or even inquire about designing the custom couture bridal gown of your dreams. I'm so excited to talk to you about this next topic. Let's get started. All right, we're here today with Beth at Ivory Loft Bridal in Fenton, Michigan. And I'm so excited to talk to her today about her shop here. Beth, can you start us off with telling us your favorite dress in the shop right now?
Ooh, that's a good question. So we just recently took on a new designer called Caroline Castigliano, and she's out of London, and her dresses are exquisite. I mean, they're my absolute favorite. And out of her dresses, I'm going to say statue, which is just a plain kind of silhouette sheath. But what's so amazing is all the accessories that we can put on top of it, whether it's an overlay of another dress or just a really wonderful bolero. I mean, it is the perfect dress. So that's kind of my favorite right now.
Oh, very exciting. I know. I love that designer. You were telling me about bringing her on, and I was so excited.
Yes.
We'll get into more of the designers in a moment. But Beth, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your shop?
Sure. So Ivory Loft has been open for almost 5 years. This January, it will be 5 years, which is unbelievable to me. It seems like yesterday. And I decided to open it a little later in life. So I've never been in the bridal business up until 5 years ago. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? You know, one of those feelings, I've worked so long, and what am I going to do with myself? And I've just always had a passion for bridal, all things pretty, making people feel pretty. And just really, I think at my stage of life, I really just wanted to offer that perfect experience. Like, I wanted them to walk through my doors and have the most beautiful experience. I mean, that's probably, if anything, even if, you know, of course we want to sell a dress, but if they choose not to buy and they walk out the door and had an amazing experience, I've checked my list. I've done what I wanted to do.
Wow. I certainly think you have achieved that. When you walk into the doors here at Ivory Loft, it is the cutest little bridal shop I've ever seen.
Oh.
It is adorable. You just have all these warm, wonderful feelings when you walk in. So I definitely think you have nailed that.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about the style of how this works. We're going through Ivory Loft as a bride. How does the booking system work? When should they go dress shopping? And what should they expect when they come to your shop?
First of all, I would say that we're a little boutique. I really kind of founded this boutique with the less is more type of a version of it. You sell what you love, and I love that classic timeless look. We do have 10 designers, I would say, approximately, and about 100 different gowns in the store. But for the most part, they're very trendy, they're very fashionable, but I would say we tend to lean towards that classic timeless look. So 15 or 20 years from now, you're going to love what you look like and not look back and go, oh, why did I buy that dress? But in order to make an appointment is our best recommendation, especially over the weekend, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. We're really busy. We do two types of appointments. We do a classic appointment as well as a VIP. The difference in those appointments are the classic appointment is what we do best. It's an hour and a half appointment, and you can bring up to 4 people with you, plus the bride. You are aligned with a stylist. Pretty much, our boutique's little. We try to keep it to 1 bride at a time, but that's not always the case. I mean, once in a while, we'll have 2 brides at a time or somebody shopping for something else. So that's kind of your typical classic appointment. Our VIP appointment is 2 hours long. You have the shop to yourself. We pop the champagne. We have small bites, small treats, and you get a gift bag at the end. And it's a nice gift bag. So anyway, we try to make it really elevated and pretty special, that VIP appointment. So those are the 2 different appointments.
Yeah, I think that sounds fabulous. I mean, we have to remember that this is a once in a lifetime experience. So that definitely sounds like something just totally enjoyable and amping up the regular dress shopping experience. So I love that. Next question. What are some of the other favorite designers that you sell, and tell us about them?
Okay. So like I said, all of my designers are my favorites. And when I was picking my designers, I intentionally tried to pick small independent designers. I wanted to keep my price point down but yet still offer something lovely. And that is a big thing that I really pride myself on is, offering beautiful fabrics and beautiful laces. And, the textile portion of it is so important to me, as well as the designs and being just a little bit different than what you're seeing out there. I pride myself on carrying independent designers because it helps me keep the price point down, but yet still offer something very special. And what I think kind of sets that apart is that these names aren't really big names, but yet they do something really lovely. They aren't well known, so their prices aren't jacked up, but yet they're still offering beautiful textiles, beautiful laces, beautiful fabrics, and just their designs are exquisite. So a lot of our dresses come from all around the world. And let's see, I have Made with Love, which is probably our most popular designer. It definitely brings brides through the door. And they're out of Australia. I have Divine Atelier. They're out of Romania, and their workmanship is just beautiful. Delarna Couture, they're out of Hungary. I mentioned earlier, Caroline Castigliano, she's out of London. Leanne Belter, she's out of Toronto. Robert Bullock, he's out of New York. We carry Kate McDonald, she's out of Charleston. So just a great array of like these small independent designers who are doing beautiful things.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have picked some very nice ones. In your opinion, what would be a healthy wedding dress budget?
So we range from about $1,800 and we go all the way up to about $8,000 or $9,000. But I would say here at Ivory Loft, we sell all day long right around $3,000. Like I think that is the budget that gets you into a beautiful, beautiful gown. These are customizable. We can make changes. I think that if you come in with that mindset right around that price point, we can put you in something absolutely beautiful. We can do a little less, and of course we can do much more. But I would say that $3,000 really is that target of a price that we seem to sell all day long.
Yep. And once you hit that price point, now things open up and you have a lot more options.
Absolutely. You can, like I said, make customizations, change the skirts, add an overskirt, add a bolero. I mean, there's so many things that you can do. A lot of our brides are wanting more than just that one look. And so when you add all these different pieces, it allows you to, have different looks throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So building off of that, what kind of accessories do you sell here?
So we have a lot of accessories. We sell, of course, veils, we have headpieces, we do jewelry, but we also do things like extended trains or overskirts, or, what I'm calling a bolero is a piece that goes over the main part of the dress that sometimes can be short sleeve or off the shoulder or long sleeve. A lot of times if you're getting married in a church or you think you want sleeves, but then you don't want sleeves for dancing later on, you can put these little boleros on. It looks like it's a part of the dress. The buttons line up. It looks like completely a part of the dress, but you can take it off and have two looks in one really in the day. So
fabulous.
Yes.
Very good. I think we touched on this a little bit already, but what made you really want to open a bridal shop?
I opened the bridal shop because number one, I had such an amazing experience when I bought my dress, in 1995. But that particular bridal shop made me feel like I was the most beautiful bride that had walked through the door. And I'm sure they did that for every single bride that walked through that door.
Yeah. Looking back.
Looking back. But I just felt like from beginning to end, my every need was taken care of. And it felt like it was so special. And, I just had a great experience. And from that day forward, I thought I'm going to own a bridal shop and I'm going to make every bride feel just as special as I felt. And so truly, that is something that I pride myself on. Of course, we love to sell dresses. We want to sell a lot of dresses, but most importantly, I want every person who walks through this door to have that experience that they've dreamed of their whole lives. I mean, everybody, for the most part, maybe not everybody, but most brides have thought about what it's going to be like, who's going to be there, how I'm going to find this dress, and I want them to feel beautiful. And sometimes we have to have several appointments. Sometimes they find it in the first appointment. But we do our best to give them that experience that they've been dreaming of their whole lives. And that's really important to me. I have two daughters myself, two totally different body types, but yet I've, done really well making them feel beautiful their whole lives. And I just knew that anybody who walks through the door, whatever size, whatever style, it might not be my style, it might not be something that I would have worn, but I knew that I had to branch out into all different types of categories or all different types of styles, and that I could do a great job making sure each bride felt beautiful. That's really my goal. And so I guess probably that's why I decided to open the bridal shop.
I love that. How fun.
Yeah.
I mean, do you tell people when you're just out and about in your personal life, like they ask what you do and you say, I'm a bridal shop owner?
Yeah, I do that. And they all think it's fun, and it is fun. I would say 99.5% of the time it's a blast. Every once in a while, somebody's not happy, or it's a challenging family, or too many people at an appointment and all that. But somehow we, manage to get through it. And yeah, we enjoy it. We love it.
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. The dream job. I know you've had many, many, many wonderful brides over the past 5 years, but do you have any brides in particular that really stand out to you, and what made them extra awesome?
That's a loaded question, because, I say this and I'm a little older, so I can say this, but I think I fall in love with like each and every one of my brides. Everyone has a story. And I will tell you one experience. I don't know if it was my favorite bride I've ever, but it was just a great story in the sense that she came in, her mom and I were picking out all these gowns for her, and she looked amazing in everything we were pulling, and we were pulling all these fitted, looks for her. And she kept going over to my boho line, and it looked great, but her mom kept saying, that's what you wear every day. That's kind of what you wear every day. So I was pulling something else, and her mom would pull something else, and we were just styling her all out, and she just looked amazing, and she loved it too. But it wasn't the dress. We didn't find the dress, but she knew she wanted to come back and try on a few that we had suggested, and then a few of the boho dresses. Anyway, the second time she came in, she brought her dad with her, and she put on a dress. It wasn't anything that her mom and I had pulled, but it was a dress that she kept looking at, and I knew she liked it. So I went and got it for her. And when she walked out of the dressing room, her dad said, "That's my daughter." And it kind of just made me feel like, here, chills. I know, here I am. And I think we are good at this. And this is something that, as I will mention probably later, but, you got to be open to the stylist suggesting different looks and being open to different things that maybe you had not thought of. But sometimes we can get carried away with that. And sometimes we need to stop for a minute, listen a little more, and realize, that's not who she was. And she looked amazing in every gown that we picked out, but the gown that she ended up getting and the gown that she was leaning to throughout the whole thing was the one that was most her. And I thought that taught me a lesson. It taught me to just, step back sometimes and listen. Although I'll say to my brides, sometimes I'll say, can I push you? Can I, suggest something that I think will look great? And there's many times that works as well. But in this particular case, the dad was here, and I stepped back and I thought, yeah, he's right. That's his daughter.
So cute.
Yeah.
I love that. It's rare you see men in the shop, right?
Very. We love having dads, and we love having brothers or uncles. I mean, it's always a lot of fun, but we don't see it that often.
No, but you remember them when it does happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Same for me. Do you have any tips when dress shopping for brides that are just starting out?
Yeah, of course I do. I think a few things. One, coming to your appointment with a huge entourage sometimes can be too much.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of opinions a lot of times. I mean, there's some brides who just love it. They love the fanfare. They love having a lot of people here with them. But I just think that just having fewer people, sometimes a mom and a sister, is all you need, because they know you the best. And when you get a lot of people in a bridal shop, there can be a lot of opinions. I mean, I have had brides, I'm dressing them, they fall in love with a dress, and before we even get 6 steps out of the dressing room, I've got 4 people saying they hate it. And I just think that then my bride is discouraged. So that would be number 1, is how many people you bring. Number 2 would be shop in advance, like enough time. Like, there's nothing worse than trying to find a dress in a rush, number 1, or paying rush fees, or, so my opinion on that would be a year would be ideal, but, at least 8 months before the wedding date. We can get a dress here in 6 months to 8 months, but now we're all looking at our watches, wondering if it's going to come in on time, and we're pushing the alterations, we're pushing things that don't need to be pushed. So, and there's human error out there, and this world is ever changing, and our dresses come from all around the world, like I said. So I really say the more time you can give, the better.
Yes.
And then I would say, brides always ask, what should I bring to my appointment? And, you can bring undergarments, you can bring your shoes, but often we never even really use the shoes until the very, very end, if we even want to then, because that's, again, your length is typically, decided in alterations. And most of the time they're just an extra pair of shoes. They're not the shoes they're going to wear on their wedding day.
Yeah. I think socks are just easy.
Yeah. Because you can get in and out of the dresses where, not,
the heels and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would also say, don't come in like navy blue underwear or black underwear because
cheetah print.
Yeah, you can see it right through the dress sometimes, and then everybody's questioning that. So, nude garments would be good. Yeah. And then, brides often ask, should I wear a bra or shouldn't I wear a bra? And if once I find that the bride is comfortable, I will always suggest taking off the bra, because I think you just fit differently in a dress.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. A bra can sometimes add volume or lift you up too high, and you need to see how you're going to fit in that dress. And we're going to always have cups or do something to give you support. So if you can feel comfortable taking the bra off, I highly recommend that.
Yeah.
I think that coming in with an open mind, it's great to have a Pinterest board. It's great to have inspiration, but I think that, I can't tell you how many times that somebody comes in and says, I do not want strapless, and they walk out with a strapless dress. I do not want A-line, and they walk out with an A-line dress. So, I encourage them to say, when we're in an appointment, we try on all the dresses that they really, really want to try on. And I say, well, why don't we just try on one A-line just to get it out of your system so that you know that you won't have any regret. And sometimes that's the dress. So just having an open mind, I think, is huge.
Absolutely. I hear that probably more than 50% of the time. And I say, oh my God, I love your dress, in alterations. And they're like, it's the total opposite of what I thought I wanted. I hear that so often.
Right.
And I think there's something about just feeling just a little bit different on your wedding day.
I say that to my brides too. Sometimes I say, you don't want to look exactly like you look every single day. You know what I mean? Like, you want to look like a bride, and you have one time in your life to be a bride. I think I say that a lot too.
Yeah.
You have one day to be a bride. So be a bride, go for it.
Go for it.
I'm a believer of that.
Yeah. And back to bringing people to your appointments. I think people forget that there's opportunity to bring people to other dress appointments. So maybe, your Aunt Kathy is very opinionated and you don't necessarily even want her there when you're dress shopping, but she can come when you go to pick up the dress in 6 months or whenever that is, or you can come to alterations. You can come to the second alterations appointment. So there's ways to include people without bringing them to that very, very important first dress shopping experience.
100%. I couldn't agree more. And I even have said to my brides, we're kind of quiet during the week, Monday through Thursday. If you want to come in and just show your dress to a few people, please come in and do that. Because again, too many opinions can make for a long appointment. Yeah. For the bride, particularly.
Yep. And I also think sometimes with when there's too many people, the bride feels like she's hosting a party and she has to make sure everybody at the party feels included. And that's not what this appointment is for. We're looking for your wedding dress.
Right.
One thing I want to touch on, big topic, sizing. It's a whole mathematical equation mixed with, lots of different things. So let's talk about that a little bit. So how do you go about doing sizing? And then I'm going to add my comments at the end.
Well, this is a great topic. First of all, I think that, we do a lot of customizations, and with those customizations, we can do some tricks on sizing, if you will. But these dresses come for the most part in sizes. So I can order what I call split sizing. And so I can order a 4 on top, a 6 at the waist, and a 4 on bottom, or a 4, 8, and 12, whatever that bride might need. But the dress still might come in needing alterations, of course, and tweaking. And so sizing is tough. A lot of brides will tell me that they're going to lose weight, or brides tell me that they want it super tight. They, don't care if they can't sit down. And then the dress gets here and then it's super tight and they can't sit down and they have an issue with that, or they don't lose the weight that they said they were going to lose. So sizing is something that when I do hear a bride say that they are going to lose weight, I do add it to the notes so that when I'm ordering the dress, if I can take it in a little, if I'm in between sizes and I want to go one size down, I will do that. But I have to tell you, there are brides that come in and they've lost 30 pounds, but there's a lot of brides who come in and they haven't lost any. So I have to be careful with that when I'm making my or placing my order. But one thing that you've taught me is that, everybody thinks that they should buy a dress that's bigger so that we can just take the dress in wherever it needs to be taken in. And a lot of times that does work, but sometimes that can be even more expensive than just letting it out in certain kind of pain points, I'll call it, like letting it out in the hips, but everywhere else the dress fits perfectly. If it fits perfectly in a ruche bodice, well, you know how much work that can be as a seamstress. So I say to them, please trust the process, because the process goes on to the seamstress. It's the next step. And you're the expert. And, they come in and they already having all these emotions. And I'm like, just trust the process, because letting it out or taking it in is something that you handle. And I think sometimes letting it out is the best option too.
100%, especially with these tight fitted dresses that are very in style right now. And I'm going to say it, small boobs are very in right now. So if you're ordering a size that's too big, then taking down the bust cup size can be a very big project. So it does make more sense to get the dress a little bit tight, say in the hips, and let that out. Way easier for me, way less expensive. However, I understand that as a bride, you come in to pick up your dress and you're freaking out because it's too tight. And you wouldn't be freaking out if it was too big. But again, trust the process and just know that we will work this out. And it often turns out better than it would have if you had gotten the bigger size. I do want to touch on the Made with Love brand that I know you sell a lot of dresses with. They do tend to be tight in the thigh. So just putting that out there, if you're interested in that brand, just know that it is going to be very tight in the thigh. I can let it out as much as I possibly can. And I do, and I have, and the brides have been very happy. But at the end of the day, they're very tight.
Yes.
So and of course your bridal shop will lead you through all those things. When you order your dress, you guys will be, guiding as to what size you should be ordering. But I do want to touch on, as an alteration seamstress, I always joke, I think there's only two people in the world that should talk about your weight, your doctor and your seamstress. So I feel like I can say this, but I hope I'm not offensive. But if you are planning on changing weight, please say this at your dress fitting appointment, because when you're ordering this dress a year in advance, sometimes, we're women, we fluctuate. So we're going to try, we all need to estimate as best as we can. But I do hear a lot of brides ordering the dress and they weren't planning on losing weight and they did, or vice versa. So really try to think about what you're going to do. And I know you don't like me saying that. I know you don't like hearing it, but the bride is the only person that has any control over that whatsoever. So just be very transparent. And then the bridal shop will work with you. Well, if you don't lose the 10 pounds, then this is what's going to happen. If you do, this is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
So yes.
And a lot of times, some of them will say to me, you don't know me, I'm really going to lose 30 pounds. I'm like, okay, I do believe you.
Yeah.
And so at that point we talk about where do you usually lose weight? Do you lose it in your hips? Do you lose it in your chest? And so that helps us too, when we go to order, we try to really take all those points into consideration, and we don't just order a number. We really don't. Like I said, we'll do split sizing, or in some cases we do have some more custom dresses where they will match your sizes, but for the most part, we're ordering a size. So
when you are ordering the split sizing, I do want to make sure brides understand this as well. When you're ordering custom sizing or split sizing, that does not mean that you will not need alterations.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. Again, buying the dress a year in advance or however long, we fluctuate. And also the designer, there's a little wiggle room with them as well. So just know that by the time you get to the alterations, there will still need to be alterations done, but they'll definitely be a lot less less work, a lot less money. We'll just still need to do a little bit of tweaking.
Well, I always say to my brides too, you're not there. You're not at the designer's factory where this is being made. So for that reason, there's going to have to be some tweaking that's going to have to take place. I always say that.
Yep. Absolutely. Do you have any questions for me?
I think it kind of falls in line with what we're talking about right now. We say to our brides all the time that we can do all these different customizations. And I love that we can do these customizations. However, we are not starting a dress from scratch. And so my question for you is, how many dresses are you doing? And are you taking those brides, if they just really want to design their dress from head to toe? How does that process work?
Yeah, well, thank you. They are very big projects. So I do a lot of alterations and just a few custom couture bridal gowns every year, from completely made from scratch right here in Michigan, max 5 a year. So I won't take more than 5. And then I still, of course, do my alterations. But that process is a very unique process. You're not dress shopping with me. It takes a lot of visualization and a lot of trust. And I think that's maybe for the bride that's looking for something just very unique, something they can't find in stores. They want something very particular. They want a specific color, or they just want like a very couture experience where you work one-on-one with a designer. So yeah.
Do you do any Mother of the Bride custom dresses or not?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Nope.
I get that question. So.
Yep. Nope, not anymore. Do you sell any?
We do sell Mother of the Bride, but as you know, it's a really hard dress to stock and to sell, and because everybody's shape is different and everybody wants something different. So we carry Amsala. I carry a designer out of Paris called Paris Style, which is lovely, which is pretty customizable.
Okay.
They'll, do whatever sleeve you want, whatever skirt you want to a bodice, that kind of thing. But that price point is a little higher.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do, but it's not a huge market for us. I usually try my best to help the mother of the bride as much as I can, whether I sell her a dress or I point her in the right direction. It's the best I can do. And we also carry bridesmaid. So.
You know what? While we're on this topic, I do just kind of want to throw this out there to our listeners that I see all the time that Mother of the Bride has a budget of $200. And I mean, it's always a tough topic, but let's think about this. I always think there's 3 very important dresses you wear in your lifetime: your prom dress, your wedding dress, and then your Mother of the Bride dress. So I feel like when your daughter is having this extravagant, beautiful wedding, like why not give yourself the opportunity to wear something extra beautiful, up that budget a little bit. You'll get into a lot more range of styles, and not matronly styles either. I hear that word all the time. So just throwing that out there.
I'll throw that out there right with you, because I think that is the second most important dress of the day. I do. I feel like the Mother of the Bride is, also such an important dress, and Mother of the Groom too. Let's not forget them.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No,
the groom as well.
And I feel like, like you just said, you can't, maybe you can find a dress for $200 and it's going to hit all the boxes, but probably not. You're probably gonna have to up it a little bit to get that gown that you're looking for. And there's so many beautiful ones out there. I think you can find them. You just have to look a little harder.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay. Well, Beth, I think that was kind of everything. And if any listeners have any questions for you, how can they reach you or your shop, or where do they go about booking an appointment?
Absolutely. They can go to ivoryloftbridal.com. That is our website, and you can book an appointment right there, or you're welcome to call the shop to book an appointment. And of course, social media. We do our best to put our sales on our social media. What we have new in stock is always on our social media. So Instagram, Facebook, you can find us there.
Very good. Very good. And then can you go ahead and spell out your Instagram handle for us?
Sure. Ivory Loft Bridal, IVORYLOFTBRIDAL.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Beth.
You're so welcome.
This was so much fun.
It's always fun with you.
I'm so excited for all of your 2024 brides and beyond. I'm just so thankful.
Well, I have to say how thankful I am for you, because you do such a great job. I feel like once I send them out the door, I know they're going to be in great hands if they go see Sarah.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for all you do for our brides.
So sweet.
They always have a great experience.
Mutual feelings.
Well,
thank you, Beth.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode has allowed you to approach the world with greater confidence in your own personal style. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out through email or the inquiry form on the website. I hope you are all ready to go and get dressed up. I look forward to sharing more dressing up tips with you in future episodes. Thanks so much.